Welcome back. Breaking news this morning. OpenAI says it found evidence that China's new AI model DeepSeek used the company's proprietary model to train the open source competitor. The company told the Financial Times it has seen evidence of distillation, which it suspects to be from DeepSeek. U.S. officials are now looking at the national security implications of DeepSeek and whether intellectual property theft was involved, as the CCP has been stealing intellectual property from America for decades. This, as DeepSeek's terms of service show it collects and stores user data in China, sparking similar national security concerns, leading to the congressional crackdown on TikTok. China's Alibaba now is also releasing a new version of its artificial intelligence model this morning, claiming that it outperforms competitors such as DeepSeek and ChatGPT. Joining me now is the president of General Catalyst Institute, Teresa Carlson. General Catalyst is a global investment and transformation company which partners with ambitious entrepreneurs to drive resilience and applied AI. Teresa, great to see you.
Good morning, Maria. Thanks for having me.
Well, you certainly have seen so much in your career, leading technology groups throughout your career. First, I want to get your take on DeepSeek, and now China claims that Alibaba can also outperform America.
I love the marketing here.
Yeah.
It's like they're all like in a race. Here they go. Well, first of all, let's just state the obvious. There are no better entrepreneurs in the world than America. Like, we have the best researchers, we have the most grit here in America. So the good news about this, it's proving something that we need to do here, which is lowering the cost of the ability for entry, and that provides access for all. I don't know who's saying what is true. I think all this, Maria, you're talking about is going to come to fruition. But for us at General Catalyst, we invest in the most transformative technologies in the world. And they spend either number one or two cost of their budget is cloud and AI today. So when we start seeing things like this, cost reductions, we get excited. But in terms of DeepSeek making this announcement, we know China has been stealing our technology for years. So
yes.
That's like, who would have thought, right? Of course they're stealing.
Of course. I've done so many documentaries on China and so much study on communist China. Our audience is well aware of how much they've stolen intellectual property from America.
But they're not as good as innovating on top of that and moving faster. And I think in America, our entrepreneurs really fail quickly and succeed quickly. So, you know, I would say strap in, because in the U.S., I think we're going to have a lot more announcements from our companies on what they're doing, because probably seeing this just creates a lot more competition to even move faster.
But I guess on the cost theme here, I mean, you've got Microsoft spending $80 billion on, you know, building out its AI just this year. Yeah. It's not an overall number. It's just this year, $80 billion. You've got, you know, ChatGPT, hundreds of billions. And is there any way that DeepSeek could have been developed for $5 million?
Maybe. Possibly. However, here's what I'll say. I do think the money that's being spent is going to be worthwhile. Here's why. If you just look at the cloud market and the growth of AI, I don't think that money will be spent for nothing. I believe the market is going to be so enormous. And if you think about the types of industries, Maria, that's being disrupted around this, we talk about something called applied AI at General Catalyst, which is taking more mature industries, things that you wouldn't think of, to utilize AI. Finance, accounting, legal, you know, they're now moving very quickly. And when you think about these industries being disrupted, this is why the cost, lowering the cost, is a good thing. Now, we are spending a lot, but from a tech perspective, I think that's good. We saw the markets rebound yesterday because people are saying, you know, yes, maybe. However, now, just I think last night the Navy said we're not using it. Right. Yeah. We can't use it. National security implications.
So tell us about that. What are the national security implications of DeepSeek? And by the way, you can put this on any other Chinese company, right? I mean, that's Alibaba. Right. All of the data goes back to the CCP. So aren't there real risks in terms of getting in bed with communist China? Certainly when it comes to defense.
Totally. I don't think there's any way at any level our government is going to use this technology, because you have to go through a process with U.S. government and regulated industries. It's not just the government. They go through a security and compliance check. And I was just on a chat yesterday with a bunch of former Amazon engineers, and they were all saying, look, the security of this thing is not proven. Does it work? Yes, but there's still a lot of the devil's in the details. So Navy said they're not using it. I'm sure today we're going to see another cadre of U.S. government agencies saying you can't use it either personally or for work.
Yeah. By the way, there are so many Chinese stocks that trade on U.S. exchanges, and they, too, likely have the same MO to have to be forced to give the CCP data and information, and yet we allow investors to, in so many ways, fund the expansion of our number one adversary.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that a policy that should be looked at, having these stocks trade on our exchanges, allowing perhaps investors who don't really understand buying these stocks? I want you to talk a bit about the proper policy that you'd like to see coming out of President Trump's White House and the Congress to help spur innovations in defense, and what specifically needs to be done from a policy standpoint.
Well, let me back up for a minute and just say that we launched this institute in September, and the idea was work directly with policymakers. We have over $32 billion in AUM and over 800 companies. And what we said, Maria, we're going to go in and work with the legislators at the industry level and go in and have a really good conversation. Over the years, one of the things I realized in big tech, which I worked for, we did a really good job getting in there with the lawmakers and talking about what we needed. For the startup companies, for the smaller tech, we did not do a good job with that. And because all these industries now, to your point, are highly regulated, the idea is to go in and we want to make sure that the American companies are the ones that the Trump administration is paying the most attention to, and that we give them the upper hand. The great news is they are going in very quickly with this light touch regulation. So I think they're going to be on top of this. They brought in some individuals we love, like David Sachs, you have Michael, you have these individuals in the White House now who really understand what AI is. So our job is to get in there and have the conversations and also showcase these companies to them so they see what's happening in America. And then I will say since 2000, I've been going in and talking about China, even from my years in big tech, to say we have to be cautious. They're stealing our technology. We've got to make sure that we're paying attention to what they're doing. But now, since 2016, since President Trump came in, we really started paying attention to that.
Yeah, for sure, and with good reason.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of threats out there. Teresa, it's great to have you. Thanks so much.